So this is one of those statements that I hear from the right on a regular basis. They tried to kill Donald Trump. They killed Charlie Kirk. And this drives me absolutely effing crazy because they didn't try to kill Charlie Kirk. From what we understand, one deranged person murdered Charlie Kirk. They didn't try to kill Donald Trump. Two individuals tried to do so. One, by understanding, a Republican. Another one who once voted for Donald Trump. So they always use the term they. And it's one thing if an idiot on OAN will make a statement like this, or AON, or whatever the hell that network is called. But it's another thing when the vice president makes statements like that. Listen to JD Vance once again using that term, blaming the left for the murder of Charlie Kirk.
So I think my attitude is let these debates play out, but don't let the debates that we're having internally blind us to the fact that we are up against a radical leftist movement that murdered my friend a couple of months ago and that would throw many people in the Trump administration in prison, not for doing anything illegal, but for not following the far left's agenda. That is the real opponent here, a political movement in this country that has no animating principle, that has no agenda for the American people. Their sole obsession is to take down Donald Trump and anybody who helped Donald Trump govern. Focus on the enemy, have our debates, but focus on the enemy so that we can win victories that matter for the American people. That's my message.
So ridiculous. Everywhere I go, I hear people talk like that. And the vice president talks like that. And people in powerful positions talk like that. They tried to kill Charlie Kirk, and they did. They tried to kill Donald Trump. They. We hear this they all the time. And a broad brush of saying the left did it. Now, obviously, this language is reprehensible. Obviously, this language is irresponsible at a minimum. And it's evil. It's evil in nature. And the crazy part about it is every show I do, it could be Piers Morgan, it could be Tim Pool, or any right-wing show that I do, they seem to know the motivation of Tyler Robinson as if they were a part of the FBI. Here's the bottom line. We don't know the motivation. It still remains unclear. It's still an ongoing investigation. Now, they believe they have their guy. There's a lot of strange entities involved here, so I certainly have a lot of questions, but we don't know the motivation. We have no idea. People on the right, you would think that they are working with Kash Patel. They seem to know the motivation. They think it was, because of his trans boyfriend or girlfriend. They think that's all this had to do with, and he was radicalized by the left. Clearly, he was radicalized by somebody, but we don't know who. We still don't know the who, what, when, where, and why. But yet these MAGA Republicans are so evil, and they're so disingenuous, and they're a bunch of liars, they think they know everything. Just like they claim they knew what happened in the New Orleans terrorist attack. Oh, it was an undocumented immigrant who crossed the border illegally. Joe Biden's fault. When it turned out this was somebody who grew up and was a naturalized citizen in America who committed those heinous acts. We heard the same stuff with the Paul Pelosi attack. Oh, this was some sort of gay relationship. They let him in. And the worst part about it is, when they're clearly wrong and they're proven wrong, they never retract and they never apologize. Here's another example of that. They have absolutely no idea. None. And even if Tyler Robinson, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, was a member of the radical left, say he was a part of that movement, which, by the way, I don't believe he was, is one demented individual responsible for an entire movement? You tell me. Is one person an entire movement? No, everybody else would have to be on board with that. And I can tell you right now, everybody on the left does not want political violence. The overwhelming majority do not want it. So for the Vice President of the United States to paint that broad of a brush is so irresponsible. It's so evil. And it's incitement of violence itself. That's exactly what it is. And you're going to get retaliatory violence because of the words that are used from a guy like a JD Vance or a Donald Trump or basically anybody else on the far right and media entities that use the term they. They killed Charlie Kirk. They. Well, let me tell you what they did. They stormed the Capitol on January 6th. They tried to overthrow a free and fair election. They, Donald Trump, lied and said the 2020 election was stolen. He still does. They continue to spread Russian propaganda. They continue to lie about the economy. They continue to make up lies about the left. They continue to use racial slurs, among other things, when talking about Mamdani and others. They continue to attack migrants and brown people. Yeah, that's what they do. And I will paint that as a broad brush because I think the overwhelming majority of people who voted for Donald Trump think this way, because it never was Make America Great Again. It was Make America White Again, and it rings true today with what they are doing. Welcome a bunch of South Africans that are 100% white with open arms. Do they do that with any brown people that are seeking asylum from other countries? I think not. It's not Make America Great Again. It's Make America White Again. Donald Trump comes from a family of very white people, including his father, Freddie, who was arrested at a Klan rally. That is the cloth that Donald Trump comes from. White privilege. Mar-a-Lago white privilege. It's why he has one of the whitest administrations in the history of this country, and it's why his policies are helping his white, elitist, rich friends. Period.